And what was the process like becoming an opera singer, especially when you started fairly late? Like, some people start when they're like 13, start singing. So what was that like for you?
I always think that's funny because you can learn how to start learning how to do the basics of singing when you're 13. Of course, like there's some like singing technique you can learn, but you're really not mature enough to sing opera yet.
Yeah.
So in a way, like the age was sort of appropriate, but at the same time, it was so far fetched for me to think that I would be an opera singer. So anyhow, I just wanted to learn how to sing well. I didn't even know that classical singing meant opera. At the time. So I was just totally oblivious to what I was doing. It all just kind of fell upon me, which was wonderful in a way. It was like fortuitous. Everything was happening for a reason.
Yeah, that's the best.
But everybody has a different path when it comes to like actually having a career in opera, and most people don't have careers in opera. Mm-hmm. The first day of that school actually that I went to, they said 0.1% of you will have a career in opera. And I was like, I don't care, But then the next semester, I just decided to hunker down. I really fell in love with the opera we were doing, which was Magic Flute. Mm-hmm. And I had so many jobs and responsibilities, and it included like building sets and hanging lights and all kinds of other stuff too. So I got to see the business kind of really quickly in its entirety.
Yeah.
From a standpoint of like a college student. And then, I did the American path, I like to call it, like the path that they say in college that you're supposed to take. You go to college, you get your master's degree, you go do young artist programs, and then hopefully someone notices you, and then you start doing auditions for agents, and you get an agent, and it's off to the races, hopefully. That's the overall goal. Yeah. But the idea that you're going to just make it is very untrue.
True,
you have to work really hard from like day one, and you're constantly getting told no, and you have to be willing to hear no all the time. So I went to Purchase College to learn how to sing, and I stayed there through my after my undergraduate degree, and then in between I went and did like Des Moines Metro Opera Young Artist Program, and then Chautauqua and Virginia Opera, all as a baritone. Actually, I was the wrong Fock at the time.
Yeah, I read that you were first kind of a baritone and then not anymore.
I was probably always a tenor. It's just that with learning how to sing opera, there's all kinds of things that you don't do naturally. Or I should say, it's more natural. It's like how you're born. Like when babies scream, that's like opera.
Yeah.
So they're born with this ability to make noise so that, their mother or father can hear them, so people know they're in danger, whatever. It's kind of like this thing we're born with. But the second we start speaking, we start telling ourselves that this is where the voice comes from. Yeah. And we stop using our body efficiently. So basically at 20, you're trying to retrain your entire body for the rest of your life, because it's never ending, how to be the most efficient singer and how to use your voice the most efficiently. So it takes forever, and it won't ever stop. I'll be learning how to sing until the day I die, I'm sure. So,
Wow.
That's just the way it is. But I went into young artist programs as a baritone because the sound I was creating was kind of a little fake, because I was like lowering my larynx and trying to be an opera singer. It sort of had a little bit lower sound. Anyway, long story short, I realized I was a tenor when I was alone for about a year. I was in Virginia Opera's residence program, and I was singing up to high C's and still had no low notes to speak of. And I was like, I'm just going to learn how to sing as a tenor, I think. I'm going to see if someone out there thinks I'm a tenor, besides all these casting directors I had auditioned for who were like, are you sure you're not a tenor? And I found a teacher, and he was like, you're a tenor. And the rest was history. 2 weeks later, I was managed. 5 weeks later, I was auditioning for one of the biggest young artist programs in the country. I got in, and then stayed as a long-term young artist at San Francisco Opera for 2.5 years. And it just, everything after that just started going and going and going and going, and I started getting jobs. That's the benefit of
awesome.